Hello. Great, someone joined. Hello, how are you? Am I visible, audible? So few we have few people joining, some audience. Great. Pranam. Great. So we can start. So or we should wait for 5 minutes, other more people to join. Then we can start. So we are going to talk about different dignities of planets and how to deal with a planet's energy when it is not in a good dignity. Okay, it is fine if planet is placed well in your chart. It is a known sign, exalted sign, friendly sign, neutral sign. So how to start learning astrology means how to start reading. Learning astrology is all about reading, how much you can read and how much you can collect information. Okay, one thing you need to understand that one person cannot give you all the information on astrology. Okay, you have to collect information from everyone whomsoever knows anything about astrology. You need to learn that particular thing from that person, and then move to the next person, then next person. So it is continuous learning, and as I said, one person cannot help you in that. One person cannot tell. You cannot rely on one person to give the whole information of astrology. No one can do it. Okay, it is so vast. So you have to get information from lots of sources, and as I see, there is no dearth of sources these days, right? uh, the, we have information on our fingertips. So we have Google, we have YouTube. So information is there, just that how much willing you are to put your best effort to learn astrology. Okay, there are many online teachers, there are many YouTubers who are making videos on YouTube. There are many people who teach through their websites and all, so you can learn from them. But again, it is the same thing that one person cannot teach you everything. Then when you have learned from so many sources, then you are supposed to develop your own way. You cannot just copy them. Okay, so you have to develop your own way. You have to include your own insight, and then you can think, okay, fine, I have learned something. So let's begin with today's topic of how to deal with the planet's energy when they are in wrong dignity. So a planet can be in different dignities in chart, right? We are not talking about house placement now. We are talking about sign placements. Okay, so a planet can be in own sign, that is it's the sign which it rules. It can be in its Mool Trikon sign, which the sign which it rules, but it is more closer to it, the planet's nature. The difference between Own and Mool Trikon is that both signs are ruled by the same planet, but the Mool Trikon is more closer to the nature of the planet itself. Like, for example, uh, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Jupiter rules Pisces. But Jupiter's nature is closer to Sagittarius rather than Pisces. So Sagittarius becomes Jupiter's Mool Trikon sign. Likewise, Mercury rules Gemini, Mercury rules Virgo, but Virgo's nature is closer to Mercury. Okay, so that's why Mercury is Mool Trikon sign. When I say that nature is closer, that means that that sign and that planet represent almost the same things. Okay, so that is the difference between own and Mool Trikon sign. But anyways, means if a planet is either in own sign or Mool Trikon sign, they are considered in a good dignity. Okay. Now, a planet can be in good dignity in, like I said, in own sign, Mool Trikon sign. It can be in good dignity in exaltation, which is actually the best dignity of a planet, then a friendly sign or a neutral sign. Means like Mercury in Leo or Sun in Virgo is considered as neutral dignity because they are neutral to each other. Okay. So these are the better dignities of a planet. Whenever planet is there in these signs, own sign, Mool Trikon sign, and exaltation sign, friendly sign or neutral sign, the planet's energy has a particular direction, which is positive direction. The person knows how to direct that energy, direct his actions in a dignified way. Understand the word dignity here. Planet in a good dignity means person takes actions related with that planet in a dignified way. Mars in Capricorn. Okay, it is the best dignity of Mars. Mars in Capricorn. Capricorn is sign of law and order. Mars is your anger and aggression and actions. So this person will take all the actions as per the law and order. Okay, he will not do anything illegal. Okay, so Mars in Capricorn is a very high dignity because person takes actions in a dignified way. The other thing, like if a planet is in a wrong dignity, now the person doesn't know how to take an action. If Mars is in Gemini, which is a sign of great enemy Mercury, or if Mars is in Cancer, which is its debilitation, now person doesn't know, doesn't have an idea how to express the energy of Mars, how to direct his actions in a dignified way. He will take some indignified actions. Okay, this is the basic difference. So if a planet is in good dignity, like I said, own sign, Mool Trikon sign, exaltation, friendly or neutral, then person has a proper idea of how to utilize the energy of a planet in a dignified way. Now, now when a person has a planet in wrong dignities are when planet is in enemy sign, like Saturn is in Leo, Sun is in Capricorn, that is great enemy sign. Like I said, Mars in Gemini, Mercury in Scorpio, great enemy. Okay, so when planet is in enemy signs, planet in debilitation, okay, planet in retrograde, planet in combustion, these four are main wrong dignities of a planet. So in that case, person doesn't know how to channelize the energy, how to use the energy of a planet in a dignified way. So we are going to talk about what a person should do in these circumstances. First of all, we will know how these wrong dignities impact the action of the person. Okay, so first of all, if planet is in enemy sign, like I said, like Mars in Gemini or Sun in Capricorn or Saturn in Leo, all these planets are in enemy sign. They are sitting in the sign of their enemy planet. Okay, so it is just like you are sitting with your enemy. If you are sitting with your enemy, what will happen? You will feel frustrated, you will feel kind of stress because your enemy is sitting in front of you. You will feel unsafe because your enemy can do anything to you, right? If you are sitting in your enemy's place, enemy's house, then you will feel unsafe, right? So this is what happens with planet also. Like if a planet is in enemy sign, planet feels unsafe, the energy of planet is misdirected, it gives results. Don't understand that a planet in enemy sign or debilitation sign doesn't give it results. It gives results, but the results are not up to expectation. They bring frustration more rather than anything else. Okay, so Mars in Gemini can also bring you results, but those results will be limited, and they will bring frustration more. Okay, so this is what happens when planet is in enemy sign, that you will get results, those results will be limited and bring frustration, plus you will feel the stress because you are it is like a person sitting with enemy or in enemy sign. Okay, second thing is when planet is debilitated. Planet's debilitation is the weakest dignity. Okay, it is when person has no idea how to act as per the nature of that planet. Okay, if Jupiter is debilitated, let's say if Jupiter is debilitated, Jupiter represents knowledge, education, and teachers and all. It doesn't mean that person will not get the education, it doesn't mean that person will not get the knowledge, but he will not appreciate the quality of knowledge. Okay, even if he gets the best guru in the world, he will not be able to appreciate that person. He will go to the fake guru, he will go to the some teacher which is who is immoral. Okay, so that is what happens, that when a planet is in wrong dignity, is in debilitation, person doesn't know how to express the energy of that planet. Like Mars in Cancer is debilitation, now this person doesn't know how to express his anger. Mars represents our anger and aggression, right? So when Mars is in Cancer, it is in debilitation or in enemy sign, person doesn't know how to express his anger, and he ends up in expressing everywhere. Okay, some XYZ person said something to me. Okay, and I have Mars, suppose I have Mars debilitated or in enemy sign, I will go and throw that anger to someone else. So this is what happens with planets in debilitation. That energy is still getting expressed, but not in a dignified way. Okay, if someone has said something to you, you should take action there only, right? With that person, and you should take legal actions. You should not start hitting him or saying something negative. If you have any problem, take legal actions. But it is wrong to go to someone else and throw out the anger on that person, your frustration on some other person. So this is what happens when Mars is debilitated, because person has no idea or no sense how to express his anger or aggression in a dignified way. Anger and aggression is also a human trait, right? I am not saying that they are wrong. They are very useful in certain circumstances. Without anger and aggression, we can't expect the great war of Mahabharata taking place. Okay, so that is useful, but you should know how to channelize that energy. Okay, so when Mars is debilitated, person doesn't have the sense of how to express his anger. Same way, if Venus is debilitated, person doesn't know how to maintain a long-term meaningful relationship. Venus is debilitated in Virgo sign. Okay, Venus is relationship, Virgo is sign of perfection, or Virgo is sign of conflicts. So both things come together. This person may try to see perfection in his relationship. Okay, when Venus is in Virgo, person may try to see perfection in his relationship, in his spouse. that whatever she is doing or whatever he is doing, it should be perfect, and no one is perfect. Okay, so in that case, what happens that it leads to conflict. If my spouse or my partner has done something, and I have Venus in Virgo, I will try to seek perfection. I will try to see how perfectly she has done it. Okay, and if she has not done it perfectly, obviously everyone does mistakes, right? In every actions of our lives, there is some mistake. So when she hasn't done something perfectly, I will pinpoint those things. Okay, you did this mistake, you did that mistake, you did that mistake. Okay, in the end, what will happen? It will lead to conflicts, because no one is here to listen every time that they have done some mistakes. Okay, so again, Venus in debilitation, what it is doing is that person has no sense on how to express the energy of relationship in a dignified way. He thinks that a perfect relationship can be there, a perfect partner can be there, which is not there. Okay, that leads to conflicts. So, like I said, that a planet in an enemy sign gives results which are frustrated in nature, limited results, frustration. Planet in debilitated sign means person doesn't know how to express that energy in a dignified way. The third troublesome is when planet is retrograde in your chart. When planet is retrograde, that makes us reflect back on the things related with that planet. Okay. Now I am not talking about the house position, sign position. I am just talking about the planet. In whichever sign, in whichever house, if a planet is retrograde, it just shows that you reflect back on the things related with that planet. Like I have Jupiter retrograde, I have reflected a lot on religion. Okay, religion, philosophy, literature, and that made me study almost every religion. I am not saying I study in the depth, but at least I tried to have the basic knowledge of every religion, because I reflected back if I am following the right religion. Okay, and it was a huge question when I was growing up, that if I am following the right religion, right God, right belief system. So that was the impact of Jupiter retrograde. Any planet which is retrograde makes you reflect back. Now understand why in what circumstances we reflect back. We reflect back on anything in our life. We reflect back on anything in our life when we fail at those things. Suppose you have given an examination, you passed with flying colors, and will you reflect back on that examination or that result? No, you will have just party and you will prepare for the next examination. But when you fail at it, then you will reflect back what went wrong. Then you will think that why you failed, what you could have done better in that examination. So retrograde planet means uh, we will uh, we will have some failure related with that planet. Okay, in our life, in initial life, you can say before 35, after 35. So before 35 you can have some failure, or you may have done some mistakes related with those planets which are retrograde in your chart. Then reflection will happen, then you will think back what went wrong, where did you commit mistake, what you could have done better. So then if you realize your mistake, then you can have a better chance of improving those planets or improving those results in your later life, that is after 35. Okay, so a retrograde planet makes us do some mistakes in our early life, but it gives another opportunity to correct those mistakes in later life. Okay, combust planet is one which is closer to the sun. Okay, at the time of your birth, like sun Venus conjunction, sun Mercury conjunction, sun Mars conjunction, any planet which is closer to sun and within, let's say, 10 degrees. There are different degrees for every planet, but biggest combustion result we can see when a planet is within 10 degrees. Now sun represents ego. So what happens that when you have a combust planet, that planet's energy gets gives you negative results because of your ego assertion. Okay, let's take by example. If you have sun Venus conjunction, your relationship will have lots of ego conflicts, because sun is ego, relationship, Venus is relationship. So sun Venus conjunction can give you lots of ego problem, ego issues in your relationship. Sun Jupiter conjunction, in matters of knowledge, education, belief, religion, you can have lots of ego conflicts with your teachers, with your gurus, and anyone who is like a teacher for you. Okay, it can lead to ego conflicts there. uh, Sun with let's say with Mars, it can give extreme anger issue, because Mars itself represents anger, and now it is with ego with sun, and sun's light, sun's fire is further making it making the Mars, it is providing the fuel or fire to the Mars. So in that scenario, person doesn't know how to express his anger in a positive way, and those ego conflicts lead to anger issues. Okay, so again the combustion is just showing that due to some ego issues, you are unable to handle the energy of that planet in a dignified way. Okay, due to your ego, your anger, you are just messing up the things related with that planet. So the main problem comes with these four dignities. Okay, we have no problem with own sign, mul trikon sign, exaltation sign, neutral, friendly, they are fine. But main problem happens when a planet is in enemy sign, when you feel frustrated with the results, when planet is in debilitation, when you don't know how to express the energies in a dignified way, you take wrong actions, you take wrong calls in your life. When planet is retrograde, when you reflect back a lot because of your initial failures in life. And when planet is combust, when ego takes over the results of planet. So these four dignities give lots of trouble to us. And the important thing is that the way to deal with all these dignities, four wrong dignities, is a common one. One type of an remedy, if you like to say, one type of remedy can make you handle these four type of planets in a similar way. That is going internal with that energy. Okay, um, what I mean to say is that whatever problems you are facing related with these planets, let's take by example, let's take Mars is debilitated, Mars is combust, whatever, or Mars is retrograde. Now Mars is anger issues. If you project that anger on others, then you are gone. Okay, and then that planet energy is not going to help you. You are going to be in trouble. You need to internalize that anger. You need to ask yourself why you are feeling so angry. Okay, if someone has said something to you, why you need to feel so angry about it? If there is a psychoanalyst from Western country, his name was Carl Jung. I'm sure many of people are aware of him. I like one of his quotation of Carl Jung. is that uh, whatever things, just a second, let me just get to the exact quotation. It is very good one. I have made his chart also, Carl Jung. Just a second. Yes. So, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Okay, that is huge thing. Okay, what he says, that everything that irritates us about others, whoever is making you angry, you need to ask yourself how he could make you angry. Okay, whoever is making you frustrated, you need to ask yourself how could make you frustrated. Where did it hit you? Where did he say something which hit you? That's where the problem is. Okay, so the problem lies within you. The Mars debilitated or Venus debilitated are not that other person is wrong. That is your planet. First of all, for God's sake, understand your chart belongs first of all to you. Venus debilitated doesn't mean that your spouse is wrong or something like that. Venus debilitated is first of all your planet. You need to deal with that energy first of all. Okay, so first of all, you need to ask yourself why people say something and you tend to react to those things. So let's take another example. Suppose my mother or my father or my sister or any other relative said something to me. Okay, and I might have felt bad. Okay, but same thing might have been said by many other people, but I might not have felt bad. Okay, I might not have reacted in the same way. But when it came from my mother or it came from my any other relative, I may feel bad because the connection is there. Okay, uh, because the feeling that okay, you are my mother, how can you say so? Okay, at least you should respect me. There is an expectation. Okay, it's like that. Same thing happens with everyone. Most of the problems we have with people are the closest people of ourselves. Okay, most of the conflicts we have with the people are the closest of us, our friends, our relatives, and and these people, because there is an expectation that okay, how can you do such thing to me, right? How all right, I don't care about anyone else in the world saying anything to me. Lots of people comment at me about anything, but how can you do so? Because you are my friend, you are my husband, you are my wife, you are this, you are that, you are mine, right? And that is the main thing, that because of that connection, it makes you feel hurt. If you don't have that connection, then anyone can say anything and you will just go away. You won't even react. So this is what I am trying to say, is that when a planet is in wrong dignity and it is giving you some negative impact, okay, negative result, you need to ask yourself, where did it hit you, where did it hurt you, and why did it hurt you? Because the same thing might have been told and done by many people to you, but you didn't react in those circumstances. I am not I don't think that we react on everything. We may meet 50 people in a day. Okay, and out of those 50 people, 40 or 45 people may have different ideas about ourselves. different idea about me, but I will not react to those 40-45 people. I will react only to the remaining 5 people who are closest to me. Okay, so this is an internal process. This is what I am trying to say. I know it is difficult to understand, but this is what I am trying to say is that whatever planet's energy is there, you need to internalize it. You need to ask yourself where it is hurting you. Okay, if Mars is anger and it is debilitated, before throwing out your anger on other people, you need to ask yourself why the other person can make you angry. Okay, if Venus is debilitated or Venus is retrograde, Venus is combust, before throwing out your anger or your frustration in relationship, you need to ask yourself what you are expecting in relationship. Okay, then only you can handle this difficult energy of planets in a better way. Because the moment you throw out, okay, the moment you say something to another person regarding any of these planets, now the energy is in the universe. Now universe is bound to react. Okay, now the other person will also react, and now the things will grow, right? Last year, 2018 was the best example when all the planets have gone retrograde. Okay, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, all 5 planets went retrograde. Now the thing is that it was all internalizing process. This what I have also felt when Venus was first debilitated in Virgo. Then it went into Libra for 5 months. It was retrograde. I internalized myself. Okay, I thought about my relationship with many people in my life, my family members and other people, and rather than throwing my anger on other people, rather than throwing my anger on my family members or people I'm in relationship with, I asked those questions to me, that why I am feeling like this, where is the problem. Okay, so you have to internalize those things. Now take another example. If I had just thrown that frustration of Venus debilitated or Venus retrograde on other people, then other people is bound to react. Now the things will go into the mess. So the only way you can deal with these 4 types of dignity, the combustion, the retrograde, the debilitation or the enemy sign, is by internalizing it. You have to internalize. You have no other option. Okay, you have to ask the same question which you are feeling about others. If you have any question in relationship matters, okay, if you are frustrated at your relationship with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, and you have some questions, first ask those questions to yourself and ask seriously, and try to find answer within yourself. Then only ask other person. If you are able to ask yourself, then the things will be better. You may need, and you may even not need to ask other person. So and the process is this process of internalizing everything is only possible when person is meditative by nature, when person speaks less. First of all, that, okay, person is kind of introvert. Because if you are an extrovert person, if you speak more, then it is very difficult for you to internalize. Then you are habitual to speak things, right? So first of all, the process starts with being introvert, being in meditative process. I am not saying you need to sit somewhere for meditation. You can be meditative while working also. You can be meditative while doing any action, as long as you are living in the moment. Okay, so first step is to talk more self to yourself, then talk more to yourself, then be meditative, and then the third step of internalizing can happen. When you can ask the same questions to yourself, okay, then only things can work for you. But if you are trying to project on others, your anger of Mars debilitated, or your frustration of Venus debilitated, or your wayward communications of Mercury debilitated, then it is not going to help you, because other person is as unaware as you are, he is as unconscious as you are, and he is also bound to react. So the only way is to internalize. That's the only way how you can handle this these four wrong dignities in a somewhat dignified way. And once you are habitual of doing it, then things are easy. When you are habitual of internalizing the process, then things are easy. Okay. There is something in Buddhism also. I heard that what I was saying, that it is like when we are in relationship, or when we are in friendship of when there is any connection, what I am trying to say, when there is any connection between you and the other person, there is a natural expectation, okay, that at least you should be nice to me, okay. I don't care about the whole of the world. I don't care about how people are treating me. But at least you should be nice to me, because you are my this. You are my husband. You are my wife. You are my children. At least you should do it. So it the connection of mine creates some expectations, and basically no one is yours, and no one is mine. We all can leave this world at any moment, okay. Life is so unpredictable, okay. So that is the main thing about our suffering, is that we think that someone is mine, someone is bound to make me happy, someone is bound to praise me, someone is bound to serve me. Nothing like that, okay. At the end of the day, you have come alone, you will go alone. That's it. Just accept it. That is the biggest truth in life, that you have come alone, you will go alone. No one is yours, okay. So this is what the connection of mind leads to the frustration, leads to the anger, that okay, you are mine, how can you do this? So rather than asking this question to the other person, ask the same question to yourself, and if you ask seriously, you will get the response. So this is how I feel, and this is how I have managed my issues internally with my planetary positions. Fortunately, I don't have any debilitated or something like that, but I have Saturn in Leo, which is enough to spoil. I have Rahu Saturn conjunction, which is enough to spoil. So I have had my issues, and I still have my issues, and only way I need to I have learned to manage those issues is by asking questions to myself rather than any other person, because asking others means expectations. Asking others means I expect something better for them, and no one can do anything for anyone, okay. So only way is to internalize it. I hope this is useful. I hope this is also understandable. But this is the only way I have come to know, that if you internalize your planet's energy, which are in wrong dignity, then things can be better. But if you are projecting on others, then that is assured that other person will also react, and things will be messed up. So let's see if there is any other question. For Jupiter Mercury combustion, Jupiter combustion, as I said, that it can lead to the circumstances where you have ego conflicts with your teachers and gurus, uh, or in philosophical matters. Means even if you go into the discussion of religion, philosophy, literature, you can end up in having some conflicts, ego conflicts, like my religion is the best. Okay, so and that can become trouble. Mercury combustion can make someone speak very less, can make someone being very introvert from very beginning in life. Initial life he may be very introvert, plus as sun is fire, Mercury is communication. uh, this person can have fiery communication, he can speak anything in anger. Hello, I have Venus in Virgo and Mercury with Mercury. In 11th house, I have Mars in Cancer with Moon. My question is, can conjunction with the exalted own sign planets help planets which are debilitated, dignity wise? It creates this Nij Bhang Raj Yoga. But as I see, all these yogas are more useful, more helpful in your professional life rather than in personal life. So relationship wise, this can still give you troubles, but in professional life it will make you earn well. Okay, Mars in Cancer with Moon, it still shows anger issues. Venus in Virgo with Mercury, it still shows problems in relationship. So relationship wise or in personal life, and these planets still show some problems, but other in your professional career matters it can be helpful. Sun Mercury combustion and Venus Ketu combustion, Venus Ketu conjunction or combustion. Sun Mercury combustion, as I said, that person can have fiery communication, he can be very introvert in his early life. So he needs to internalize his communication. Now let's take by example of what I was saying. Sun Mercury combustion, like a person doesn't have a proper sense of communicating, right? uh, the communications are filled with anger and fire. So before communicating anything to other person, before spreading it to the other person, you need to internalize your communication, you need to tell yourself what you are going to tell. Okay, so that is going to be helpful. If you just go within with your communication, that okay fine, I am going to tell these things to the other person, then you will have an opportunity to revisit of what you are trying to say. But if you just throw it out, then it is gone, right? Venus Ketu conjunction. I hope that you are asking about Venus Ketu conjunction. Venus Ketu conjunction normally they say that uh, you end up in relationship with someone with whom you may have some past life connection. I'm not sure about past life, future life. I'm only concerned about the current life. So I would have a different interpretation, is that Venus is relationship, Ketu is isolation and separation. So what happens that after the initial time period, of their relationship, they feel kind of separated from their partner. They feel that their partner is unable to understand their point of view or something like that. Okay, so this is what happens with Venus Ketu conjunction, is that person gets into relationship, but after some initial time period of 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the person feels that okay, I'm unable to connect with this person. So this is normally happens with Venus Ketu conjunction. Then what is Kulik Kal Sarp Yoga, how it is predicted? I have no idea what is Kulik Kalsarp Yoga. I only know the basic of Kalsarp Yoga, that is when planets are between between Rahu and Ketu. All the planets are in between Rahu and Ketu. It is considered as kind of jail. Okay, understand that when all the planets are within Rahu and Ketu, then it is like all the planets are jailed. Okay, now it will take huge effort from the person to come out of that jail, to utilize the energy of Rahu and to utilize the energy of that planet. Okay, uh, yoga form from two combust planets with sun. I would consider both of them as combust only, like Sun, Mercury, Mars together. I will consider Mercury as combust. I will consider Mars combust. If there is any other yoga that is getting formed because of the two planets or three planets, that is different aspect. Thank you. Yes. Do retro planets relates to past life karmas? Please elaborate more on retro Saturn. I have seen it doesn't help in later life either. The entire life is troublesome. Well, I don't think so, because I have a Saturn retrograde. Uh, so my current life is better than the earlier life. So yeah, so retrograde planet, as I said, that it is more about reflecting back upon your mistakes, reflecting back upon your failures in life, in your initial life. Now retrograde Saturn is about Saturn is your duties and responsibilities in your life, your job, what you are doing, what you are supposed to do. So when Saturn is retrograde, it brings lots of reflection, lots of thoughts, whether you are following the right career, whether you are doing the right actions in your life, whether you should be doing this or that. So all these things come regularly. They realize their true career path after 35, after the maturity age of Saturn. With Saturn in any condition, whether it is exalted, retrograde, debilitated, it is always the same. Okay, after 35 only things improve. Before that, it is all about hard work and perseverance. So would feel like I have retrograde Saturn plus with Rahu. Okay, which makes a more troublesome combination, Rahu Saturn together. So I have felt in my life that after 35, when I crossed the 35 mark and I came into I actually realized that I should be an astrologer the month I crossed the 35 mark, and I entered into 36th year. So at that time I realized that I should be an astrologer, and after that life has been better. Okay, so I would say that they still help you one retrograde Saturn when you are over 35, but it depends upon the chart also. I have to see the chart of the person to give the exact results. My sun in first house is combusting Saturn, which is there in 12th house is combustion of Saturn, more problematic than others because of rivalry between Sun and Saturn. As I said, that Saturn is same in any case, right? First of all, your Saturn is in Leo. That is itself is a troublesome combination. Saturn in Leo, the one of the hardest placements. Then it is combust also because of sun's position. So it all leads to ego conflicts at work. Lots of problems with the authority figures. Okay, It only shows that you are supposed to become your own authority. I won't say that it is more problematic or less problematic, because Saturn is problematic in itself. Okay, in any house, in any sign, in any placement, it is problematic, so it will remain a problematic planet. Okay, so it is the same thing, just that your issues with authority figures, your father, they, that can be more troublesome when Sun Saturn are conjunct. Thank you. Thank you. I've heard people born with retro planets suffer for the same years, as after same days they become direct on their natal chart exam. One day counts for. I'm not aware of it. Sorry. For the same years. Nah, not sure. I'm not saying that it is wrong, just that I am not aware of it. Thank you. How to read 5 planetary conjunctions. There is an article on my website which says the how to read 4 or more planetary conjunctions. You can check that article. Realizing our weak or sensitive spots is truly the first step in healing. Thank you, Summer. Thank you. Sun, Mercury, Jupiter combustion in my chart in Scorpio sign in 10th house. Fine. So it is again the same thing, that Mercury combustion means you can have that fiery communication, anger in your communication, plus Jupiter combustion means you can have this ego issues related with knowledge, belief system, religion, spirituality. That okay, my belief system is better or your belief system is better. You can have these conflicts with people, but it is still a good combination for your career perspective. Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, it shows a teacher. Mercury, Jupiter both are teachers. Sun represents career. It shows a teacher in your chart. Plus combustion means like any other planet gets better with time, provided we are ready to learn the lessons related with that planet. Okay, provided you are understanding the realities of that planet, of what it is trying to teach you. Okay, if you are committing the same mistakes again and again, then there is no benefit, right? Then you are just wasting your time in this life. You are supposed to learn from your mistakes and improve yourself. But if you are committing same mistakes again and again, then leave it. And then astrology is not for you. Then live your life as per your wish. But what I am trying to say is that when you have when you have suffered due to your mistakes of Mercury combustion, of Mars combustion, Mars debilitation, then you are supposed to learn something out of it, right? And if you are learning those lessons, then things can be better in your future. Then those same planets can give you some benefits also. But if you are not ready to learn those lessons, like if someone is okay, let's take the best example. Someone has Mars debilitated, okay, and he used to get into physical fights or anger aggression issues in his early life. That can be still excused, that as a child you were doing that, right? As a school kid you were doing that, then that can still be fine, you can defend it. But if you are not learning out of those mistakes, if you are not learning through counseling of people, then there is no use. We cannot say that after years of age, or after 35 years of age, Mars will start giving him good results. It will start giving him good results only when he is ready to learn. If he is not ready to learn, then leave it. Then that person will commit mistakes after mistakes after mistakes whole life, and he will just live like that only. Okay. So any improvement we can expect only on the overall chart. We can see when I have overall chart of someone, then only I can see, okay, fine, this person has debilitated Mars, debilitated Mercury, or debilitated Jupiter, but other planets, other houses are well placed. So it shows that, okay, fine, in early life he may be doing some mistakes, but in later life he can improve as a person. But if the whole chart is trashed, right, if you are not getting any help from anywhere, then the person is supposed to live that kind of life in this birth, and supposed to improve, evolve himself in future lives. That's it. How to read transit Saturn and its aspect on natal Saturn and other planets. I think I have written the articles and made videos on it. How to read transit of Saturn, its aspects and all. Everything is on website, and everything is on YouTube channel. You just need to explore it. Cancer ascendant, I have exalted Saturn in the fourth house, facing problems regarding fourth house. Yes, because for Saturn itself is problem. With Saturn, it doesn't matter if it is exalted, if it is debilitated, if it is own sign, enemy sign. It can be worse in matters of own sign, or it can be worse when just a second. Okay. Battery was going low. Okay. So what I was trying to say is that Saturn can be worse when when it is in Aries sign, it is in Scorpio sign, it is in enemy sign like Leo. But we cannot expect Saturn to be good. Okay, it can be either bad or worse. Okay, so that is the generic thing about Saturn for everyone. Don't expect any results from Saturn. It will make you work hard. Yeah. And I always say that we should understand Saturn as a polar opposite of Venus. Just like Venus is the most benefic planet, it gives benefits everywhere. Saturn is the most malefic planet because it represents challenges, and it gives challenges everywhere. Okay, so this is what I feel about Saturn. Let's see if there is any further question, or we will close it. So, and this is what I feel like in for any planet. Uh, for any planet which is either in enemy sign, or in debilitation, retrogression, or combust, you need to ask those questions which are you are trying to pose to other person. Whatever you are expecting from other person, you need to ask those things to yourself, and if you are able to do it, then you can utilize the energy of that planet in a positive way. Otherwise it can be troublesome. If you throw it out on others, then it is troublesome. Then other person will react, things will be messed up. So only way is to internalize it. The only way is to same things to yourself, and you will get the response if you ask genuinely, honestly. Okay, so this is how I feel that, and I have negotiated the energies of enemy sign planets or retrograde planets in my chart.
I hope it is useful for you also. Just try to have it. Try it, just give it a try, and see how it reacts in your life. Okay. So I hope it was useful. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Sunday.